Yeah, halfway through the
Yeah,
podcast, you're gonna hit
yeah.
record. That'd be great.
I
Like
think we're
now we're
ready.
ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jinx. You owe me a soda, bro. You owe me a soda, bro.
Ew.
Ew.
So
That's so old school. Ew.
nobody drinks soda anymore.
Oh.
They drink
You never
poppy.
drink soda? You never drink
Or
soda? Or you used to? Or you
no,
used
I don't
to? But
drink
you
soda
used
anymore.
to. But you
Like, oh
used
yeah,
to.
it's been years ago. Years ago. Seriously. Oh no, Gabe. Did you mute yourself? Can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like that?
no.
No?
The other side.
Uh,
Not that. Yeah. There you go.
Like that?
Yep.
As it falls.
Like I did last time. Ladies and gentlemen, here
Yeah.
we are. We made
It
it.
does. We did it. You can hear me.
Gosh, we can.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
God.
This is
It's
great.
magical.
It's not too many times that, you know, you don't get any technical difficulties. It's like we just started right now and things are going so great, right? It's perfect.
Uh,
Amazing.
Makes you almost want to have those feelings that you shouldn't have.
Doesn't it make you feel like everything's a-okay? Uh,
Sometimes. Huh? Sometimes. Sometimes you kind of feel a little upset. Sometimes you
yeah,
feel a little angry. And
sometimes you
shoot,
do.
sometimes you want to hate something or someone.
Sometimes you just want to hit your computer because it's acting up, because it's
Sometimes you want to
overheating.
throw your remote because your team just lost at the TV.
Yikes. Good thing I'm not a sports person. I think I'd just always be angry and upset. Is that your team? No, but they're fucking it up. What are they
At
messing up? I
$20 on
don't
that
know.
quarterback. Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's a thing, right? I think people just we struggle with our feelings, with our emotions. We tend to bottle them up a lot of the times because we're told to, right? We can't feel a certain way. Women feel a certain way. I'm not trying to be sexist here. I have a point. I think it's just a lot of times men just think that, yeah, women have feelings. Women are supposed to have emotions. Women complain about things. Men don't. We bottle it up inside, and eventually, we have that heart attack and we die of stress. That's just the reality of it. That's just how things are supposed to be.
you just
How do you
bottle it
feel
up
about that?
inside. Well,
How do you handle your stress?
see, that's just it though. I was taught the same thing. Like you hurt your elbow, rub some dirt in it, get up and move on.
Yeah.
Oh, something bad happened. Well, get over it. Cry me a river, cross that bridge, get over it.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, okay, take my emotions, put it back inside, truck on. And, you know, after about, I don't know, 10 decades of it, it's gonna eventually leak and come out. And it could be addictions to calm it down. It could be eating habits. It could be a lot of things. And it's not good to keep it inside. That's what I've learned as I got older is to being able to express my emotions, not in a way where it sounds silly, but more in a way of just being able to communicate how I feel at that moment, whether it's with at work, personal life, and I'm working on that because it's still a work in progress. Because first thing I do is I shut down.
Yeah.
You know, you come at me hot, and I can't choke slam you. I go like just. It's almost like that. What was the movie? Was it Get Out?
Oh,
Where like they
okay.
would take the drink or whatever, and like they would just like,
Fall into that black hole or whatever it was. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and you're
remember
like
that
you're
piss.
watching,
Yeah.
you know, what you were just looking at in your eyes, and you're just watching it slowly go away. And that's kind of what I do. Is I go about, I don't know, 11 feet deep into my soul and just hang out there and just kind of go. Sounds weird, but I go into severance mode where it's like, yeah, I'm here, I'm doing the things and stuff, but I'm checked out or I'm upset, I'm down inside, and it's not good. You know, it's not good. You got to be able to share your emotions in a way where it's
Healthy.
going to be heard,
Mhm.
understood. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to accept it and like it. I could tell you to go blank yourself, but
Yeah.
at least they understand now where you stand and how
Yeah.
you feel. But yeah, it's always been what I've been. It's been ingrained in my body and my soul is you just suck it all up, and it's hard to say I'm hurting inside or I feel a certain way to somebody because that's, showing emotions. That's a sign of weakness for some people. And you'll go that whole time feeling like crap. And you could say something, but if you do, you'll be looked at differently or a certain way. And
Yeah.
it's up to that person. It's up to you. Do you want to live with it or do you want to let it go and move on? You know, it's easier said than done, though. I know that.
It really is. It really is because it really depends on the environment that you're in and the workforce that you're in. It's really easy to just be open or even shut down, with two different opposite sides, right? With your family, you get to decide that. They might not be cool with it. They might not be happy about it, but you can choose whatever you want to choose. But when you're in the workforce, it's different. It really depends on the line of work because you might have the whole machismo, toxic masculinity. I can't even say wow, to where you don't complain, you just shut up and you do your thing,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not talking about like, yeah, you should complain at work, but I think people misconstrued a lot of like what being open and what being honest and genuine, what it really is, and then just being the squeaky wheel and just complaining about every little thing, right? I hate my
Yeah.
job, I hate my life, I hate what I do. I think a lot of that can be eliminated from the workforce. Nobody really cares about that part of it. But when you have ideas and you want to share something with people and you just want to be in an area where the professionalism is there, I think a lot of people either can put that on, they can put that face on when they need to at work, right? And because they might not be like that at home, and that's cool, that's great. Not everybody has to be honest, not everybody has to be, like, genuinely themselves from when they're at home. Because I know that's something that I ask for a lot where I'm like, I just want people to be genuine and honest." Do you? Because some people are
Yeah.
just
Be
genuinely
careful what you wish
assholes,
for.
right? Like, they're like, "Oh, you want me to be genuine? Alright, well, fuck you." Like you're saying, it's just like, people are just gonna tell it like it is, and then there's no filter, and you might not like that response. I'd rather have somebody understand that the workforce, there's a professionalism to it, and that you have to respect that and respect other people's, feelings and opinions and everything else. You don't have to accept it, but just whenever they want to speak, oh, that's great. That's a great thought. That's not something we're going to execute right now, but we'll keep that in the back of our. And it's not like they're dissing you, but maybe they can't do it right now. So there's a lot to it. I think the family dynamics very different because like I said, you can easily shut down yourself. You don't have to respond. You can be the quiet one, or you could choose to be the loud one. But at work, you really have to read the room and understand where you fit in the organization. Because I feel like a lot of times, like the loud one, if you're the loud one, people are gonna know you're the loud one. They might not like that. And all of a sudden they might treat the workforce or that place as a library. And you're being a little too loud. You're not you're not a cultural fit. Versus, oh man, they're really quiet and they don't really take charge. Over here, we get yelled at by our manager, and I think that we see them as weak, even though that's not the case, right? If you're letting your feelings go and you're yelling at people and putting them in their place, people from another perspective, like the other employees, your peers, might look at you as he doesn't have it together. He's a loose cannon. We can't
A
have him.
tyrant.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
tyrant. right? Or it's a sign of weakness if you lose your shit. So there's the whole emotional intelligence. I think that comes with that too, like understanding yourself, the perspective of yourself, like, and knowing what you're capable of doing, and even having to flex it sometimes. And I hate the idea of doing that at first. I was never really a fan where it's like, I used to put people in certain categories like, hey, you're either an asshole, you're not an asshole. And that's just a very, basic fundamental, explanation of it. But people do that. People like first impressions, right? First impressions are everything. I think, oh man, who said it? It was pretty hilarious, where maybe it was The Office or something, where it was more of a, yeah, I oh yeah, it was The Office, where Dwight says like, yeah, first impressions are everything. The first time I met Pam, really horrible first impression, but the more I got to know her, the more I thought she was really cool, but I still hate her. You know? So, it's just like, yeah, like, first impressions, like, you might, and I know that's an extreme. Everybody knows The Office, or most people do, and they know Dwight, as a character is just very extreme, exaggerated character, but it is kinda true. First impressions are everything, and even though you get to know the person, still, you just have that barrier, right? That's kinda put up with people.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have those levels of defenses up against
Yeah,
certain people all the time, and that's just human nature.
yeah,
But over time, it's either gonna get thicker or it's gonna get a little bit lighter, but you still kinda have that, "We're cool, but just stay over there."
yeah, yeah,
Just as kind of keep that 6-foot distance still because we're not there yet or we'll never be there yet at all, and that's
yeah,
okay. You don't have to see eye to eye with everybody, and you just have to be okay with it, and don't
yeah,
let it affect you.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one. Yeah, don't let it affect you. For me, I used to feel that way. I used to always want to kind of fit in, right? Just because it's just easier, like from a perspective of, it's just easier if we all just got along. It's easier if the world were just to, end war and there was, world peace. It would just be so much easier. But that's just not how it works. There's just so many different personalities, and everybody, and some people clash. And it's not even just the idea that you clash, you just can't relate.
Yeah.
So somebody comes in and you can try your damnness to really just try and get on their level, like people with sports. Sorry, I can't relate. And I know that's a big one for a lot of people in the workforce, where if you have no other connection, sports will do it, right? You bring
Yeah.
up a team, oh, yeah, no, man, I hate that team, or I love that team. Dude, way to go. Either way, you're in. You
Right.
have some sort of bond, even if they don't like your team, because now you guys have something to talk about. For me, yeah, it's not sports. It's definitely not sports. But, if it's video games, great, I could play a video game here and there, but at the same time too, it's very video games can be kinda niche
Yeah.
at times. There's just the categories and the genres and everything. It just but I mean, somebody who watches hockey versus somebody who watches football, you can still kinda relate a little bit in a way. It's still sports. It's still a
Still
team. It's still
sports.
like a it's like a politics thing to me in some ways. Just like you pick a team and you stick with it, right? And it's like no matter what they do, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, man, my team is the best team."
And at
Yeah.
least you'll have that conversation going, even if it is just like a passerby, like, that's your way of saying, "Hey, what's up? Hey, go whatever. They suck."
Yeah.
And then you just pass. But at
I
least you
think
have something.
yeah, I mean, it's nice to, and I also thought about getting into sports just for the conversation piece, right? But I wasn't really gonna be honest with myself if I'm just getting into it just to start the conversation. But it's
Yeah.
almost like reading the newspaper or watching the news. You might not be interested in what's going on, but you can still say, "Oh, man, it's kinda wild, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that?" And at the same time too, there's kind of a and I don't even know how to put it, but when just the ignorance behind not knowing what's going on in the world, I feel like that can put some people off too.
Yeah. But if that's your group of people that you care about making happy, because not everybody wants to watch the news all the
Yeah.
time and be up
No.
on, world events, not because they don't care, but it's like, one, you have to sit there and watch the news and digest it, and every day it's always negative, even though I do appreciate they always try to end the world news on a positive, just so you don't get like, everything's bad, gas is going up, we got wars over here. Let's not end on a bad note. Let's talk about this puppy. And you go, oh, I love
Yeah.
puppies. I like
I was
puppies.
thinking that when you were saying it, I was just like, is it gonna be some sort of adoption?
Yeah. And
Little
it's like, oh,
little
yeah, I
nephew got
love dogs.
adopted.
But then you can go on your day because you're not like,
Yeah.
man, crap's messed up right now.
Yeah.
Jeez, but the puppies, all
Yeah.
right.
Everybody
It's going to
loves
make my day
dogs.
good. Yeah. And I, I, I really don't think that even talking about, in some cases, world news to people can get them pretty triggered. And it's like,
Yeah.
then what do you talk about? That's safe.
Yeah.
And it's always sports. Even if it is like they hate that team. Oh my God, it's like, well, at least they didn't kill you.
Oh, that's funny. I honestly didn't think of it that way. That is the
Yeah.
safe
Or
conversation to have at work that feels like you're talking about politics or talking about something that's going on that could be controversial, but it's the safe topic. "Oh, man, your team sucks," It's like, "Oh, just let them talk. It's a team. It's sports," right?
yeah.
They try to be like, "Yeah, it's not a big it's whatever. It's their thing."
Well,
That's
especially if you
funny.
go up against somebody that knows their stuff, which is great. So if you know your stuff and you're going against that person and they could tell that oh yeah, the last time they won was 2008, and say, oh, okay, they do know. So they give you
Great
some
team.
respect, for
Yeah.
that trivial knowledge.
Yeah, and
But
then it's like with
it's
their memorabilia too, it's almost like they're collecting, like, from, like, soldiers, right? It's like, "Oh, my
yeah,
great-grandfather, he has a Nazi swastika from a German soldier that he killed," you know what I mean? Like, it's almost to that extent where it's like, "Oh, that's really cool. He was a Hall of Famer," right? And it's like, "Yeah, I got that. He threw it at me one time, and when I was passing by as a kid. Wow, you have his
and
jockstrap? That's amazing."
it's like yeah, it was nasty,
It
but
was
you know what?
yeah.
It aired out. It
Yeah.
aired out. Now the whole house smells like his crotch.
He thought I worked for the team. He thought I was gonna clean it, but yeah, I'm glad I ran
I just
away with
took
it.
it.
Yeah.
I just ran and took it.
"Hey,
Yeah.
kid."
Ew, why do I want
No,
this?
gross. No,
Yeah.
I think that, like, with and it's okay for people to have a sports team, obviously, and to talk sports. It just kinda, like, leaves it makes the other person, myself, feel a little left out because I just stand there like, "Ah, I hope you don't ask me what my favorite team is," I just stay out of it, which I'm pretty sure they can already read the room. It's like, "Well, Gabe didn't say anything. He's not a sports guy. He's not one of us," right?
Well, you could also just be brutally honest too, and just go like, "Oh, I don't watch sports. I'm
No,
not
I
into
do,
it."
yeah, I don't try and I'm not gonna try and be like, "Oh, yeah, man, those Dodgers, right? Like, shit,
"Who's on their
amazing."
team?" You're like,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even try.
Shaquille O'Neal? That's the
Eh,
Lakers.
I'm not that bad, but I
15
just don't
years
say it.
ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like even neighbors, right? It's like I was walking the dogs and I run into the neighbor like 2 doors down from us, and he's
Uh,
walking his dog. He's like, "Oh, those Dodgers, huh?" And I was just like, "Oh, man." I was like, "I don't watch sports." "Oh, you don't? Alright, well, have a
that's
good night."
it. Yep, that's
Like, it
it.
was a very short
Conversation
conversation.
done.
Yeah. "Well, what'd you do today?" "Oh, I went to the thrift store with my wife."
All
"Cool,
right.
man. Hey, you have a good night, alright? I'll
You
see
too. All
you
right,
later."
we're
"You too,
done.
sir." That's my life, and I'm not I was thinking about getting into sports, like I said, but I'm glad I'm just being myself because I think
Mhm.
that's the most, authentic, obviously, thing that I can do is when somebody asks me like, "Hey, man, what are you into?" I don't wanna have to force something, but it does get kind of to a point where you just feel like you can relate to it. But I also on the lines of the struggle, I think biggest struggle for us isn't just the problem not being, like, with other people, right? It's like, I think that a lot of times we struggle with not people, but the way Sorry, let me start over. Delete that part. Let me start over. So the problem isn't with the struggle with other people, but the struggle with our own feelings, right? Regarding other people.
Yeah.
So it's the fact like, oh man, I hate, so and so. But it's the idea that we struggle with that feeling that we have towards that person. Because like I said, like we feel like we can't, oh, I shouldn't hate them. But I think you should also just kind of like embrace the idea of like, okay, I don't like them. And you can kind of dig into, okay, well, why don't I like them if you really want to? But I think at the same time too, you don't have to dwell on it and you can embrace it if you want to. Does it really even matter? No, I don't think so. It's like I said earlier, it's not like you're gonna try and kill the person. You shouldn't, right? Like that's not what
Right.
we're trying to say here. It's more of a if you don't like somebody or if you really hate somebody. I remember I had a friend who said that he had animosity towards me because,
Oof.
I really just like shit the bed on our friendship, I guess, when it came
God
down to like
dang.
my ex. Yeah, I won't get into that. But I
Oof.
remember my buddy who was we're friends with, he was just like, yeah, man, he told us like he has animosity towards you. So I was just like, oh, that's a big word. So, right? Like that's fine. That's okay. I didn't feel threatened. It was just more of like a you have extreme hatred towards me. And there's
Yeah.
a t-shirt. Hate is a strong word, but I really, really, really don't like you. It's like, okay. Plain white tees. I probably didn't hear of them.
I have. I have.
You have.
I have. Yes.
Like in New York City, thousands of miles away from here. Girl, you're so
Doesn't mean I
pretty.
like them though. Doesn't.
Okay, all right. We'll cut that out too.
I was gonna say night.
I'm feeling pretty good.
You
I
know,
feel better if I had some alcohol, but yeah, we all
it
can.
is what it is.
It is
It's
what it is. That's my
it's
vice.
dry March.
March
Yeah.
Madness.
No, you don't even know about that. What is that, Gabe?
It's when the leprechauns come out and they hide
Ah.
their gold.
And then
The rainbows come out, obviously, and they
yeah,
show us where the gold is.
and that's where you find the green
March Madness.
clovers. Oh, March Madness. That's right. Gotcha.
Come on, dude. You act like it's like first day on Earth.
Listen, I think having the feeling of anger and hate towards somebody is valid, and you should be able to experience that. But the twist is, what do you do with it? Do you let it go? Or do you hold on to it and bottle it up and you just hold a grudge on that person that you're probably never going to see again? And you're going to hold that anger and that stress and that ball like right here. And then what? Now, that person has no idea that you hate them so much, they could probably care less.
Yeah,
And here you are holding on to it. So that's the biggest question is what are you going to do with that feeling afterwards, after you experience it, you know?
that's true. Yeah, my wife brought that up. She was just saying like how she tries not to have hatred or animosity towards anybody because she doesn't want them to you know, live in her head, right?
Yeah,
Like so she thinks of it as more so well, if they're really dwelling on it and they really don't like you and she's living in their head, when they come to her and confront her, she's like, "Well, who are you?" Like, "I don't even know
right.
who you are." And that's gonna eat them up even more so inside. They're like, "I have no
You
idea what
don't
you're talking about."
remember me?
"Yeah, you
You
don't
didn't do
remember
the
what you
same
did?"
thing and bottle it inside and
Yeah,
it didn't have an effect on you like it did to me? No.
yeah. Well, and I got a little it was kinda funny because, like, at first, I was like, "Dude, are you freaking serious?" But yesterday, we're driving through a plaza, and shopping plaza, and everybody was, like, cutting us off, like, walking, right? Pedestrians first, I guess you could say, right?
Uh-huh.
But obviously, we let them go. We're like, "Hey, go ahead." But then there's this lady on this, like, motor, vehicle kinda thing, like, those carts that you rent from the shopping plaza, but it was her own
Yeah.
personal one. What do you call those, like, motor
Oh.
scooters?
Yeah. Scooters. I don't know what
scooters.
they call them.
Oh, damn scooters. But so she just like waves us at us to go. But like obviously the other people are crossing the road. So then she's like, all right, whatever. So she starts going. The slowest scooter in the whole world. It was literally like barely just moving at like 1 mile per hour across the street, and I just like, are you fucking serious? Because we had to wait for all those people to walk, and then she goes, and we're just sitting there like waiting again. But I just got to a point where I was just like, I just couldn't help but laugh. So I was just like, it's like in the movies where you just watch something like that happen, and you just like blown away. Like, is this real life? This happened to me in real life. And she was with somebody after, so like she's almost like finally across the street after like 5 minutes, and the guy just kind
Yeah.
of looks over and like he's like kind of laughing a little bit, and so he starts pushing her with his car to move faster.
He gets
I,
it. He gets it.
I,
He's like,
I
"Oh
was
my
so
god, this
laughing.
lady is
I was
slow."
so mad, but I was just couldn't help but laugh because I was like, wow, this is like I'm gonna treasure this forever because this made my day. Right? Like something that made me so angry ended up making my day because it was just so hilarious. And she probably didn't know that. Right? Like I hate her with all of
Yeah.
my might. I have extreme animosity towards her, but she made me smile. She made me laugh. Just kidding, I don't hate her. I don't even know who she is.
Well, that's a good thing. And like I said, you chose to just let it go.
I
You
just
had the feeling and you let it go. And you make these decisions probably hundreds of times a day with
yeah.
everybody you see. But it depends on how you hold on to it. I mean, people could say sticks and stones. We've talked about that before, but it you really have to find a way to make the moment not as awkward or tense. And I would always try to find a way to break the ice and just kind of make everybody laugh or do something that would kind of do that. And it helped, honestly. Otherwise, I would have been in so many fights because, like, hey, I don't like the way you look.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't fix that. Hey, were you looking at? Can't fix that. It's always looking.
Mm,
You looked at me, you looked at my girlfriend, you looked
yeah.
like you were part of a different, I don't know, whatever. But that's the whole thing. It's like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? Play dumb. Because
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's not going to be just one individual that's going to come at you and say, hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
Because they know they've got numbers. So
Yeah.
just
And
don't
that's
do
like
it.
me, man. Like if I don't have my glasses on, I can't see shit. So if I'm at the bar and I'm just no glasses, like, hey man, what you looking at? "Oh, excuse me? Who said
Huh?
that? Right? Like
What?
you staring at my girl? Huh? I was staring at this I was talking to this fine gentleman right here. The wall? Oh. Like,
He wasn't talking back. God
let
dang.
me get my spectacles. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. But I think the overall theme here, Gabe, with this podcast here is you have a choice.
Yes.
You can have the feelings, all the feelings, get your feels. What do you do with that afterwards? And I'm talking good ones too. You know, some of them might be like, oh man, cocaine is awesome, makes me feel good, but you shouldn't do it. It's just not good for you. Sometimes, so that feeling, you got to make a choice, man. And the choice is, all right, you had the experience. Now move on.
Yeah.
That's addicting, man. But it could be alcohol, it could be food, it could be whatever the case is. It makes you feel good, is what I'm getting at.
It's true. I mean, the podcast, I mean, we always say it's like A-okay, right? Even though it's like kind of by accident, but it really makes sense. Like with when I started thinking about life and the way things are going right now, everything's feeling A-okay, and everything's gonna be A-okay. Even when things are bad, it's still better than what could be, right? So I've just been kind of really just kind of counting my blessings, just really just taking it for what it is. So I think also too, like feeling I used to really this topic even though it might not seem like it hits me in the feels or, really is close to me. But I have a problem with my feelings. I have a problem understanding, how I feel about people, how I feel about my position in life, how I feel about just anything and everything. Because I think as you get older, you think you're going to figure it out. You think you're going to reach a certain point in your life where everything makes sense, but it doesn't. It never does. You end up just, you're a kid. I'm still kind of like a kid, just pretending to be an adult that has kids now, and I just have to try and figure it out and make it look like I have it figured out for their sake. And then they're going to grow up and think, "Oh, dad had it somewhat together, right? Or he tried." And I think when it comes to how I feel about myself as a father, as a parent, I think it's okay to feel like a kid because then
Yeah.
you're kind of, you can relate to your kids a little bit more too. You can understand where they're coming from and what they're going to feel. And I have to be honest with myself. I don't have to always pretend, like I have to at times pretend I have it together for the sake of the kids. And that's okay to feel like I have to do that. I don't have to be upset with the idea of like, well, I don't have it together, right? And I think that's what bothers me is like I feel like a lot of the times like, or I don't want to feel stupid. I don't want to feel dumb. But then at the same time, life just kind of throws you a bone sometimes, or teaches you a lesson because you haven't done this yet. And I'm kind of lucky to have kids because I'm learning all of those things now. And I learned the hard way. I usually do. I've told you before, I'm a procrastinator, right? So that's
Yeah.
when I do my best work. But I'm also somebody that learns the hard way, where like, hey, don't touch that, don't do that. We've talked about this. It's like don't touch the stove.
Yep.
It's hot. Touch the stove, and it's like, oh, it's hot. It burns. It hurts. It's just like, well, you idiot, you touched the stove. I told you not to. And I'm still doing that, even as I'm reaching my 40s. You know. But I think that's okay. You kinda have to be patient with yourself and others because we're all in the same boat. We're all still just really trying to figure it out, right? Just
Yeah.
because, you're a little bit older than me, and I feel like you're probably still learning. I probably know more about certain things that you don't, and you know a lot more things that I don't. So we can all share that knowledge as a collective and really learn from each other. But don't hold yourself back from being honest with your feelings. You don't have to tell the person you hate them. But if you do hate somebody, that's okay. Just don't go
It
killing them.
is.
Just don't cause harm, Just don't hurt people physically. I mean,
Yeah.
even though they say emotional pain is worse than physical pain, but still, just don't go out there and, sticks and stones stuff.
Well, emotional pain you can deal with, you can work through it, but actual physical pain, yeah, I mean, it may only take one time, and that's it. So, physical
Well,
pain from a longevity standpoint can be just as impactful. So, definitely don't do that. Have the feelings, make a choice on what you want to do with them. All we can hope for is you make the right choice for yourself. And that's all we can say and do. So, Gabe, take us out.
remember, just because your first relationship didn't end very well, there's plenty of other fish in the sea, and everything's going to be a-okay.
Hell yeah. Plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish.